Did you stay up? Did you watch the football? If you did, you had a blinder. If you didn't, well, you missed a blinder. Our top story is England escaping one of football's hottest cauldrons, Mexico City's fabled Azteca, with a really pulsating 3-2 win over the co-hosts. Jude Bellingham showing brilliance, 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Mexico, though, taking the fight to the Three Lions, keeping fans nervously strung out until the very end, 11 minutes of added time as well. Even Harry Kane's penalty, putting England ahead, barely settled the butterflies for fans who stayed up until the early hours, until the final whistle finally sounded. 3-2 also avengers, of course, Maradona's so-called hand of God, eliminating England from the World Cup 40 years earlier at the same venue. That was the scene as fans in Wembley celebrated Jude Bellingham's first goal of the game. Oh, and that was the reaction in Manchester when the second Bellingham goal went in just 98 seconds later. The Mexicans were happy too. In Mexico City, rapturous rapport there when Julian Canoe scoring the home side's first goal of the game. But the captain, Harry Kane, striking back with England's third in a penalty. Bristol supporters there going wild. And reaction has come from Prince William too. Well done, England. Bring on the quarter-finals, said Prince William. Even the president was pleased. Donald Trump tuning in, saying, Harry Kane of England is a great player. Needless to say. Anyway, let's get more from our sports correspondent, Rob Harris. Rob joins us now. So, Rob, what do we have? We had one penalty, one red, 2 penalties, 10 men, 5 goals, 11 minutes of added time, a heart rate of at least 180 beats per minute. It was an absolute epic. And we've still got 3 games to go, haven't we? How was it in the stadium?
This was one of the most incredible nights I've seen watching England overseas. I've seen them across Europe, Africa, Middle East, South America, now here in Mexico, delivering one of the most famous results in English football history. It was all the talk about how they'd cope with the altitude before the game. Well, as England are saying, they've certainly shown attitude tonight. And Jude Bellingham reflected afterwards that perhaps growing up he was used to seeing England teams crumble, but this was resilience they showed and character to get through a match that perhaps they might not have done in the past. It will give them this intense sense of confidence now going forward. The fact they scored the first goals Mexico had conceded in this tournament. They'd won 4 on the way to this last 16 games. Their confidence was so high. But England managing to produce this famous result at the Azteca Stadium, and now they'll be plotting their way through this tournament, but with quite an injury-depleted squad. And we did hear after the game that Jordan Henderson, who never came off the bench in this match, actually suffered a serious injury in the celebrations. He injured his wrist and had to go to hospital as he fell over an advertising hoarding. So quite a bit of a dampener there on the night, having only earlier in this World Cup become the first England player to feature at 4 different World Cups. But there's also another issue facing England in terms of the depleted options, because Jarell Quansah's sending off means that he should expected to be suspended now for the next match. But will he? Because quite a sensational thing developed throughout Sunday, even before this game, involving the US men's national team, with Folarin Balogun having his 1-match ban overturned for now. So he's free to play for the US against Belgium later today. And that's only, it seems, because of the intervention by Donald Trump, the US president, contacting the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, after he was sent off Balogun in the previous game. And now FIFA suddenly deciding to put that suspension on hold, and now it's going to have all managers thinking, well, will any player serve a ban? Something Thomas Tuchel was asked about later on after England's game, and him questioning now, well, does anything stand in terms of bans? So quite an unprecedented political intervention, throwing all elements of doubt into what happens with punishments in football. But for England, they will just be so mightily relieved. And here in Mexico City, all quiet now. I think they're ready for a big party, reaching the quarter-finals, but for the co-hosts, their World Cup is over.
Rob, really good to see you joining us live from Mexico City. Rob Harris there. Well, here in the UK, venues were given permission to stay open through the night so fans could watch every nail-biting moment together, and that they did. Our correspondent Phoebe Southworth has been with supporters in Clapham in South London.
England has secured their place in the quarter-final of the World Cup with a jaw-dropping battle not only the physical challenges of playing more than 7,000 feet above sea level, but also against a team that until now have not conceded a single goal in this tournament. They will now face Norway as they battle it out in the final 8. You can see fans celebrating behind me. The final whistle has just gone. Many venues like this theatre here in Clapham have been staying open until 5